For years, millions of people have followed the story of Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir with a level of curiosity that few television stars ever experience. Their chemistry on screen became one of the biggest talking points among fans, and long after the cameras stopped rolling, discussions about their connection continued across social media, interviews, and entertainment news. Every new appearance, every public statement, and even every silence has been analyzed by audiences, hoping to understand what really happened between two of Turkey's most recognizable stars. But recently, something about the conversation has begun to change. Instead of focusing only on old rumors or unanswered questions, many fans have noticed a different tone surrounding Can and Demet. Rather than adding fuel to endless speculation, their recent words have encouraged people to look at their journey from another perspective. That shift is exactly why today's story has captured so much attention, because this isn't simply another rumor about a reunion or another headline built around speculation. It's about a message that many fans believe carries a deeper meaning, one that seems directed not only at longtime followers, but at everyone who has supported them throughout the years. The phrase, "Now the story belongs to you," has sparked countless interpretations online. What did they really mean? Was it a symbolic way of thanking the audience? Was it an invitation for fans to celebrate the memories they created together? Or was it simply a reminder that some stories continue to live through the people who remember them? These questions have inspired discussions across fan communities, with people sharing their own interpretations and favorite moments from the journey that first brought Can and Demet. Together, their partnership became something special because it connected with audiences on an emotional level. Viewers didn't just watch a television series. They became invested in the characters, the performances, and the unforgettable moments that made the production such an international success. That emotional investment naturally carried over into real life, where every interview and every public appearance seemed to generate another wave of excitement. As their individual careers expanded, both actors began taking on new opportunities. Can Yaman pursued ambitious international projects, reaching audiences far beyond Turkey and building a growing global fan base. His work introduced him to viewers across Europe and beyond, allowing him to explore different productions while continuing to strengthen his international profile. Meanwhile, Demet Özdemir continued to earn praise for her versatility, appearing in new television dramas and film projects that showcased her ability to move effortlessly between romantic, dramatic, and comedic roles. Her performances reinforced her reputation as one of Turkey's most admired actresses. Despite following separate professional paths, one thing never disappeared: the public fascination with their shared history. Fans continued revisiting memorable scenes, celebrating anniversaries of their famous series, and sharing clips that reminded everyone why the pair became such beloved stars in the first place. In many ways, their story no longer belonged only to them. It had become part of the audience's own memories. People remembered where they were when they first watched the series. They remembered introducing friends and family to the show. Some even discovered Turkish television because of Can and Demet's performances together. That's a rare achievement in entertainment. Very few screen partnerships leave an impact that continues years after a project has ended. Perhaps that's why the recent message has resonated so strongly. Instead of focusing on the past with regret or trying to answer every question fans have ever asked, the idea behind "Now the story belongs to you" seems to celebrate something much bigger. It recognizes the role that audiences have played from the very beginning. Without millions of viewers, countless fan pages, dedicated communities, and years of unwavering support, the story would never have reached so many people around the world. Whether people interpret the message as a heartfelt thank you, a symbolic farewell, or simply an acknowledgement of the fans' lasting connection, one thing is clear: the conversation has become less about speculation and more about appreciation. And as more people reflect on what Can and Demet have meant to them over the years, another fascinating question begins to emerge. Could this message reveal something even deeper about how both stars now view the incredible journey they once shared? For many fans, the most fascinating part of this story isn't a single sentence or a single interview. It's the timing. Why has this message attracted so much attention now? Over the years, both Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir have built impressive careers beyond the project that first connected them in the public eye. They have embraced new roles, explored different creative directions, and continued growing as internationally recognized performers. Yet no matter how much time passes, audiences continue returning to the same unforgettable chapter. That alone says something extraordinary. In the entertainment industry, successful collaborations happen every year. Popular television series come and go. New stars emerge, and trends constantly change. But only a handful of screen partnerships continue inspiring conversations years after the final episode. Can and Demet became one of those rare exceptions. Fans often describe their performances as authentic, effortless, and emotionally convincing. Many viewers have explained that they weren't simply watching fictional characters. They felt connected to every smile, every argument, every emotional reunion, and every quiet moment shared on screen. That emotional connection created something larger than a television production. It created a community. Across different countries, thousands of fan pages began sharing memorable scenes, behind-the-scenes moments, interviews, and photographs. New viewers continued discovering the series long after its original release, introducing an entirely new generation to the chemistry that first captured millions of hearts. As a result, the story kept growing, not because of constant headlines, but because audiences refused to let those memories disappear. That's why the recent message has been interpreted in so many different ways. Some fans believe it represents gratitude. Others see it as a reflection on an unforgettable period that shaped both actors' careers, and many simply view it as a reminder that every successful story ultimately belongs not only to the people who create it, but also to those who embrace it. In many ways, that perspective makes perfect sense. Actors bring characters to life, writers create the dialogue, directors shape each scene, but it is the audience that transforms a television series into a cultural phenomenon. Without viewers laughing, crying, sharing clips, recommending episodes to friends, and keeping conversations alive for years, even the most successful productions eventually fade from memory. That didn't happen here. Instead, the legacy continued expanding across continents. Social media played an enormous role in that journey. Every anniversary sparked new discussions, favorite scenes resurfaced once again. Fans created tribute videos, artwork, edits, and heartfelt messages celebrating everything the series represented to them. Some viewers even shared personal stories about how discovering the show introduced them to Turkish television for the very first time. Others explained that the characters helped them through difficult periods in their own lives by providing comfort, laughter, and hope. Those kinds of stories reveal something powerful. Entertainment isn't only about ratings or awards. Sometimes its greatest achievement is becoming part of people's personal memories. Perhaps that's exactly what makes the phrase, "Now the story belongs to you," feel so meaningful. Rather than focusing attention on themselves, the message seems to acknowledge the people who kept that journey alive long after filming ended. It suggests that the memories no longer belong exclusively to the cast or the production team. They belong to everyone who watched, supported, discussed, and celebrated the story over the years. And while fans continue reflecting on what those words truly mean, another question naturally begins capturing everyone's attention. Could this heartfelt message also hint at how Can and Demet hope their legacy will be remembered in the years still to come? As conversations continued spreading across social media, one interesting pattern quickly became impossible to ignore. Regardless of where fans came from or what language they spoke, many of them shared remarkably similar feelings about Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir's journey. Some remembered staying awake late just to watch new episodes. Others recalled convincing friends and family to give the series a chance, only to see them become equally invested in the story. For international viewers, the experience often went even further. Many admitted that this was the production that introduced them to Turkish television for the very first time. From there, they discovered new actors, new series, and an entirely different entertainment industry they had never explored before. That kind of influence is difficult to measure. Success can certainly be counted through ratings, streaming numbers, or international sales, but emotional impact is something entirely different. It's reflected in the memories people carry long after the final episode has aired. Perhaps that's why every new interview involving either Can or Demet still attracts enormous attention. Fans aren't simply searching for headlines. They're searching for pieces of a story that has remained meaningful for years. Every thoughtful comment, every smile when old memories are mentioned, and every respectful acknowledgement of the past becomes another reason for audiences to revisit the journey once again. Interestingly, both actors have consistently demonstrated appreciation for the opportunities that helped shape their careers. Rather than dwelling on speculation or revisiting old rumors, they have repeatedly emphasized the importance of growth, new experiences, and gratitude toward the people who supported them from the beginning. That attitude has only strengthened the respect many fans feel toward both stars. It shows a willingness to move forward without forgetting the moments that opened so many doors. And perhaps that balance is exactly what audiences admire most, looking ahead while appreciating the past, building new chapters without erasing the old ones. It's a perspective that resonates far beyond entertainment. In many ways, every successful creative project eventually reaches the same point. The creators finish their work. The cameras stop rolling. Production ends, but the audience keeps the story alive. Every rewatch, every recommendation, every discussion, every emotional reaction becomes another chapter written not by actors or producers, but by the people who connected with the story in the first place. That idea gives the phrase, "Now the story belongs to you," an even deeper meaning. It suggests that memories are never owned by just one person. Once a story touches millions of lives, it evolves into something shared, something that belongs equally to everyone who laughed, cried, celebrated, and remembered it. Years may pass, new productions will arrive, new partnerships will capture attention. The entertainment industry will continue changing, just as it always has. Yet certain stories manage to remain timeless because audiences refuse to let them disappear. The connection between Can Yaman, Demet Özdemir, and their fans has become one of those rare examples, not because every question has been answered, but because the emotions created along the way continue inspiring conversations around the world. And just when it seems that the story has reached its natural conclusion, one final thought leaves fans wondering whether the most meaningful chapter isn't about the past at all, but about the lasting legacy that Can and Demet have quietly entrusted to the people who supported them from the very beginning. In the end, perhaps that is the most remarkable part of this entire journey, not the headlines, not the endless theories, not the countless discussions that have filled social media over the years, but the simple fact that one television partnership managed to create memories powerful enough to unite people from different countries, cultures, and generations. That is something very few productions ever achieve. Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir each continue following their own professional paths, embracing new opportunities and exploring different creative challenges. Their careers have evolved, their experiences have expanded, and their audiences have grown far beyond the borders where their story first began. Yet despite everything that has changed, one thing has remained surprisingly constant: the affection people still feel whenever their names are mentioned together. Perhaps that affection has never really been about unanswered questions. Perhaps it has always been about gratitude. Gratitude for unforgettable performances, for characters that made people laugh, smile, and sometimes even cry, for moments that became part of everyday conversations, for a story that introduced millions of viewers to Turkish television and encouraged them to discover an entirely new world of entertainment. When fans say they will never forget Can and Demet together, they are often talking about much more than two actors sharing the screen. They are remembering a particular moment in their own lives, the excitement of waiting for a new episode, the joy of discussing favorite scenes with friends, the awesome emotions they experienced while watching a story unfold week after week. Those memories cannot be recreated, but they do not have to be, because memories become valuable precisely because they remain unique. That may be the true meaning behind the words. Now the story belongs to you. It is not about saying goodbye. It is not about closing a chapter forever. Instead, it is a reminder that every meaningful story continues living through the people who carry it forward. Every fan who recommends the series to someone, knew every person who revisits a favorite scene, every conversation that begins with, "Do you remember when?" Those moments ensure that the story never truly ends. It simply finds new ways to be remembered. Perhaps that is the greatest achievement any artist could hope for, to create something that continues inspiring people long after the final scene has been filmed, whether someone has followed Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir from the very beginning or has only recently discovered their work. The message feels equally relevant. Stories gain their true meaning through the people who embrace them. And once that connection is created, it belongs to everyone. As fans continue celebrating the unforgettable moments that brought them together, one thing becomes clear: the legacy of Can and Demet is no longer defined by rumors or speculation. It is defined by the lasting impact they have had on audiences around the world. And perhaps that is exactly what they wanted people to understand all along. The cameras may stop recording, projects may come to an end, careers may move in new directions, but a story that has touched millions of hearts never truly belongs to the people who created it. It belongs to those who continue sharing it, remembering it, and passing it on. And as long as fans continue doing exactly that, the story of Can and Demet will never really have an ending. It will simply continue being told, one viewer at a time.